Oddworld is complicated, not only by its lore, but also its general setup. So much to a point that some people remember experiencing Oddworld differently. In this video, I'm gonna go through some different kind of Mandela effects that is related to Oddworld. All of these that I'm going to show is something that people have shared by themselves on the internet, or something that I have personally experienced or heard about by myself. So without further ado, let's get started. First one is, a lot of people, including myself, could have sworn that it was possible to command multiple Modokans in Oddworld Ape's Odyssey. But this was never a thing, because in Ape's Odyssey, you can only command one Modokan at a time. And when you try to call another one, well, you have one following you, they would not listen. This has led to some people to believe that this feature was exclusive to the demo version, which is also not true either. I tested this out on both the PC version and the PS1 version of the Ape's Odyssey demo, and yeah, it's the same thing. You can't command multiple Modokans, and only one Modokan at a time. Speaking of the demo version, there's also some people who remembered that the demo version of Ape's Odyssey for PlayStation 1 had 3 levels. And I would say that is way too good of a demo version, because if you remember playing the demo version by yourself, you remember that it had only the entirety level of the first Zulak of Rapture Farms and the first part of Stockyards, and this is here where it ends. So you never had a chance to reach Monsag Lines as the third level. So I don't really know how some people remember that, oh wait, there was a third level. Or I wouldn't even say that Ape's Odyssey demo had 2 levels, cause Stockyard you barely even had any chance to start it. You only had a chance to go through the first 3 layers, and that's it. That was the end of the demo. Up next is, there was also a lot of people who remembered that they were able to open the door by entering the bell chime manually. However, that is not true, because in order to open the door, you need to get the bell chime password from the store to make it do it automatically for you. Because if you try to enter it correctly, manually by yourself, it would not open it, no matter how accurate you try to do this. Because of this has led some people to believe that it was a regional difference between the US and the European version. I tested this out on both the NTSC version and the PAL version, and no, you can enter the bell chime manually and let the door open by itself. So no, this was never a thing in Ape's Odyssey. You can't enter it manually. And while on the topic of Mosaic Lines, there's also some people who remembered some odd experience with that monk. Some people remembered that you could be able to say the password without farting, as in conclusion, as in like, oh, you only need to whistle the password and that was it. It was just say okay. But no. I tried this multiple times, but no, you can't do this. You need to fart to conclude the password. And one more thing is, there was also some people who remembered that the monk would say something like okay in a bit of a suspicious way, as if, okay, I'll let you pass, but I'm not really satisfied. Something like that. But to tell the truth is, no, there's nothing suspicious with the monk. It only tells you the password. If you say it, just say it okay and it disappears. There has never been anything else regarding the monk. Up next is, there's some people who remember that they were able to possess the Paramites and Scrapanias in Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. But that is not true at all, because you can't possess them in Odyssey. It's only in Abe's Exodus you can possess them. Those who remembered that likely remembered Abe's Exodus and mistook this for being Abe's Odyssey. Which makes a lot of sense because these two games visually looks the same. So it makes total sense why they would mistake the gameplay of Abe's Odyssey with Abe's Exodus. It could also be that those who remembered that they played Abe's Exodus first, and then later on they tried Abe's Odyssey. But who knows? Maybe that or the other thing. Up next is, there was a lot of people who remembered that they used to play Oddworld Munch's Odyssey or Oddworld Stranger's Wrath on PlayStation 2. However, that is not true. These two games has never been released to the PlayStation 2. It's true that these two games were originally intended to be released for the PlayStation 2, but it never happened. However, this did not stop some people to believe that they actually played this on the PlayStation 2 hardware. What actually happened here is that they just remembered their Xbox as a PlayStation 2, because as you know, Oddworld Munch's Odyssey and Oddworld Stranger's Wrath were released as an Xbox exclusive, so it was likely that they played it on an Xbox and remembered that Xbox console as a PlayStation 2. Last one for today is, there was also a lot of people who remembered that they played Oddworld Munch's Odyssey in co-op mode, and when they came back to this game many years later, they were struggling to figure out how to activate the co-op mode. Because the thing is, Munch's Odyssey is a single player game. There was never a co-op mode to begin with. And I think likely one of the reasons why they remembered that is because when you look back at the cover, it says in one of the screenshots, play as Munch and Abe cooperatively, which could have been a bit misleading for some people. But I assume that one of the other reasons could be because he kept switching as Abe and Munch, and some people must have remembered as a two-player local co-op. But no, there was never a two-player co-op in Munch's Odyssey. And that was all of the Oddworld-related Mandela effects that I could find on the internet. If you do have an Oddworld-related Mandela effects that you have experienced by yourself, or something else you have heard, I would like to hear them in the comments below. If I get a huge amount of more Mandela effects regarding of Oddworld, I might do a part 2. But who knows, so far I am only planning to do one part. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!